There's no excuse. No injury, no double teams, no defensive scheme justifies what we keep seeing. James Harden, one of the most skilled offensive players to ever touch a basketball, attempted just 8 shots in a Game 7. Let that sink in. This wasn't a rookie freezing under pressure. This was a former MVP, a 3-time scoring champ, and a future Hall of Famer. And yet again, he folded when it mattered most. But here's the thing. This isn't a one-off. This is a pattern. Harden's been through this exact nightmare with 4 different teams. So what's really going on here? Why does a player who once averaged nearly 40 points per game suddenly forget how to score when the season's on the line? Is it mental, physical, or is there something deeper at play? Let's rewind. In the regular season, James Harden was a machine. From 2016 to 2020, he averaged over 32 points, 9 assists, and 7 rebounds per game, while launching nearly 12 threes a night. His foul-drawing mastery frustrated fans and defenders alike, but it worked. He turned free throws into a weapon. In 2018, Harden dropped 36.1 points per game, the highest since Wilt Chamberlain. He could go off for 50 on any given night, and he made it look easy. This wasn't just a hot stretch. This was sustained greatness. He revolutionized the game with isolation play, unguardable stepbacks, and a deep understanding of how to manipulate the rules. And he didn't stop in Houston. Even in his mid-30s, Harden was still dropping 20-plus points and leading the league in assists with the Sixers and Clippers. So again, why does that guy disappear in the playoffs? Let's talk about Game 7s, the ultimate test of greatness. The lights are brightest, the pressure is highest, and Harden melts. He's played in 7 Game 7s. His record, 2-5. His average? Less than 20 points on 35% shooting. For someone with his resume, that's unacceptable. But it gets worse. In his last 4 Game 7s, all with different teams, Harden has averaged just 13.8 points while shooting 27% from the field. This isn't just a bad stretch, this is a collapse. And it's not just scoring, he's not even trying. Across those 4 games, he's attempted a total of just 51 shots. That's 12.7 per game. For a player who once averaged 24 shots a night in the playoffs, that's a shocking drop-off. So what happened? Some say it's mental, that Harden simply can't handle the moment. And maybe there's a piece of truth there. But that's not the whole story. In fact, when you dig deeper, there's a clearer and more brutal answer. It's about the whistle, or more accurately, the lack of one. Early in his career, even in Game 7s, Harden was still drawing fouls, averaging 10 free throw attempts per game in those moments. But in his last 4 Game 7s, that number has dropped to just over 5. That's half his usual volume. And for a player who built his scoring on drawing contact and getting to the line, it's devastating. Refs swallow the whistle in playoff elimination games. Everyone knows it. The NBA wants the players to decide the outcome, so ticky-tack fouls vanish. And without those calls, Harden's entire game starts to unravel. Combine that with age, now 35, and a clear decline in explosiveness, and it becomes obvious. Harden simply can't get the separation or foul calls he once did. His biggest weapon has been taken away. Think about it. In a recent elimination game with the Clippers, Harden had 7 points on 2 for 8 shooting and just 2 free throws. That's not just bad, that's disastrous. You can't be a star and vanish like that in a do-or-die game. And yet, it keeps happening. So now the question shifts. Not just to Harden, but to the Clippers. What do they do next? They're locked into Kawhi Leonard, a player who's undeniably great when he's actually on the court. But his injury history makes it nearly impossible to rely on him as a franchise cornerstone. And now they're about to hand Harden another contract, likely a 2-year deal that mirrors Kawhi's, despite clear signs of playoff decline. It makes sense financially. The Clippers don't own their own first-round picks for the next half-decade. They have to try and win now with what they've got. But if what they've got is a superstar who breaks down and a second option who disappears, how far can they really go? So yeah, James Harden is one of the best scorers ever. But in the playoffs, it's a completely different story. 7 Game 7s, 2 wins, 4 straight terrible performances, and it's not just the missed shot, it's the fact that he stopped shooting at all. The foul calls go away, the legs aren't the same, and the collapse becomes predictable. The Clippers are stuck, Harden's older, Kawhi's always injured, and they've got no picks to rebuild. They can run it back, but we all know how that's going to end. Harden's legacy is set. Great scorer, no rings. And when it mattered most, he came up small.